friends, it is Amanda with Metal Modern Design coming to you live tonight on the Essential Stencil page. Friends, we are going to be working tonight with the brand new Stencil of the Month Club design for August. You guys, that is Essential Stencil's subscription club. They send you a pre-designed set of stencils every single month. They've got the large set, they've got the mini set. You can choose which one you want. If you join, you can either get half off of your first month in the premium set, or you can get the mini set for free. And so if you want to take advantage of that, you can hop over to stencilofthemonthclub.com and use my code METTLE, M-E-T-T-L-E. Some of you may have already seen what the new design for the Stencil of the Month Club is going to be. I'm going to reveal it for you tonight. We're going to do some creating. I'm going to talk to you about how I envision using it. I'm going to start out with the mini set. This is just the smaller version. It's a little less expensive. I like the size of these designs, to be completely honest. And so let me show you. You're going to get a mini version of this little set right here. This is fantastic. You're going to get this one that says Hello Pumpkin and Thankful. We go together like pumpkin and pie. And so that's the three that for August is the mini set. Now this is the add-on. This is the larger version of that border. And then we've got the main pack, the main design pack. And it's Hello Pumpkin, Thankful, and Fall Vibes. I like the fall vibes a lot, so we're gonna use that one for sure. Then we've got Give Thanks and Eat Pie. We go together like pumpkin and pie. So they're just larger versions of that same mini set. This one is Let Thanks and Giving Be More Than Just a Season. We've got Thankful, Grateful, and Oh So Blessed. And then this one is one I'm going to be using. Autumn shows us how beautiful it is to let things go. I love that statement. Let me kind of talk you through kind of how I envision this. Now, I'm going to be using this with an additional stencil of some kind. You could pair this with a pumpkin. I kind of see, like, this is one that I did some time ago. It's just part of a flower. And this is back when we had some of these pretty little fonts that had the word like strong. But I think this would be cute with fall vibes with this. So that's one inspiration idea for you there. But how I'm thinking about using it, this is a piece of coral. It's a sea fan. This is a set of like sea plants, sea fan corals. I think some of these would double as cute little trees. And so we're gonna use them in that way tonight. You could also, this is from the seasonal icons. I love the seasonal icons because you can use them on porch leaners. They're also great for larger embellishments. And of course you could use pumpkins, you could use a lot of the different sunflowers, you could use sunflower transfers. There's a lot of pretty different things that you could do. This is kind of what I was playing with a little bit. Autumn shows us how beautiful it is to let things go. And then this is actually this. And these came from this. We're gonna start with this piece of wood here. I'll tell you the size of this board and then I'll angle you down. It's 12 inches by 6 inches. And so it's a wood cradled panel. I get these on Amazon, sometimes at Hobby Lobby, at the craft stores. And we're gonna be using Minwax water-based tintable stain in the color True Black. I'm just gonna dip in and get a little bit of this on my Harbor Freight stain sponge. And we're just gonna get this deep, rich black color onto our piece. And so I know it feels like we are rushing the seasons as crafters. You know, some of us in this room, in this virtual room, craft because we love to craft, because we love to create. We gift things, we create things for our own houses, we create because it makes us happy. And I would say that most everybody in this room falls into that category, even if you're part of the next category, which is the folks who craft to make money, to earn a living, whether it's a little extra money each month or whether it's a full income. Most of us fall into those categories, and if you are someone who is earning money, and you know right now's the time you gotta be crafting for fall. Even though it's the heat of summer, You're about to have to start pulling together your Christmas inventory as well, because it takes a while to get it all together, and you got to get it out there when people are ready to buy it. And so that's why things come out so early. Okay, I'm gonna dry this up a little bit. Anytime that you use water-based stain or a variety of different products, sometimes you'll get some grain raised. I'm just gonna sand it back a little bit, just very lightly. Make it nice and smooth. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab our Autumn Shows Us How Beautiful It Is to Let Things Go. That's part of the new Stencil Club design. And let's pull out a plate. We've got some paint. I think we're going to go with a bright white. I did the little inspiration piece that I created earlier with a titanium, dark titanium white with like an almond color. And that looks good, but I just like the stark contrast of a white. So this is the dark titanium white, so you might like that better. So we're just gonna put this white on here. I'm just gonna, we offloaded the paint. The keys to stenciling without a lot of bleed is to use light pressure, a blunt tip brush like these that I get from Essential Stencil. I've always liked this statement. Autumn shows us how beautiful it is to let things go. Okay, so let's pull this off, and I will lift this around and show you how pretty that is. So that's just crisp and clear and really pretty. So the black and white are just a stark contrast. We'll probably add a little color to the leaf up there. And now let us pull over the little sea fan coral, which is gonna double as a tree, because why not? It looks like a fall tree, doesn't it? So I wanted it to be able to double that way. Now you could add some colored crushed glass to this in different colors and they would totally look like leaves. But here on this page, we usually do stenciling, so we're gonna be doing some sponging of some different fall-like colors to create the same thing. Now, if you don't have this, you don't want the coastal set, you can grab a leaf, like the coastal, or like the seasonal icons, or a pumpkin. Just grabbing a little tape here. I will take this one down. Just a wee bit here. And then I am gonna grab out the dark titanium white for this one. I'm just gonna come on here. A light swirling motion. I might even lift a little of that white in, just lightening it up just slightly. I don't want it to be stark white. If I weren't over black, I could use a brown for this, but I'm over black, so that won't really show up all that well. So we've got to use a lighter color, and that's gonna be just fine. Stand up and make sure that we've got this all covered, all these limbs stenciled on. It off. I can see I got a little bit of bleed in the center there because my brush went off the edge because I got a little overzealous, and that's okay. All we're going to do to fix that is we'll take our little black stain sponge, and right there in that area, we could wait until it dries and sand it back a bit. We can just come right over that area while it's still wet. We want to make sure we kind of feather that out and come right over it, and that'll dry in. And so that'll cover that up just fine. And so, I mean, that's even pretty. If you just want something simple and plain, and you can see where I touched that up right there. But you could even leave it like that, but we're not gonna leave it like that. Now all we're gonna do, we'll take that same plate right there, and I'm gonna come in with a variety of colors. This one is gonna be vermilion. I'm gonna grab a harvest gold or yellow ochre. This one is crimson, any kind of deep red. I'm gonna grab a touch of chrome oxide green, and we might even use just a teeny tiny touch of raw umber. These thicker bodied acrylics, It takes so little paint, and this is going to be far too much paint, but we've got it there. So I'm going to switch to a sponge at this point, and I've got some of this natural sea sponge, and I get this at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. A lot of different places have it. You could also use kind of a wadded up piece of paper towel, paper bag, aluminum foil. There's a lot of different things you could use to mimic that. And we're just gonna come in first, I think, let's come in with some orange. Since we're gonna stencil it, this is how we're gonna work this. We're gonna take our sponge here that's got some color loaded on it, and we're just gonna start tapping that down all around the piece here. Just gonna lift a little color, offload it a little bit, and just start tapping it. Not dragging it, just kind of tapping. And grab a little yellow. Okay, then we're gonna tap on the yellow here. And you can overlap that orange a little bit. Kind of see what we're doing here. Take that up just a bit higher. Do a little tiny bit of red. It's not really staying directly on the limbs. Kind of going over them. It's creating a little of a hazed effect. So this is part of the Coastal Bundle. The rest of this is from the Stencil of the Month Club. If you want to join that, you just got a few days each month that it's open. It's open through the 20th, and I'm just gonna kind of tilt this slightly. I'm gonna grab up a little bit of that green, just with the other end of my sponge. I'm just gonna tap in just a little bit of green right here at the base to form a trunk. What do you think of that? Isn't that something so different than anything I've done? So different. And I just think that's just the cutest design. What do you guys think? We did this piece last week. If you saw this, it's got a subtle ombre, kind of a lighter gray all the way down to a deeper black, and we added some transfers. And we did this one the week before that, the week before. And so when I saw the Stencil of the Month Club new design, and if you want to catch this, you guys, this tutorial is over on my page, and it's also on the Essential Stencil page. You can grab this for sure. But you could put hunt on here. There's a lot of different words you could put on here if you wanted to. But I kind of thought, how good would it look to put fall vibes on here? And so we're gonna do that. We'll see if we like it. If we don't like it, it's no big deal. I'm gonna just position this up. I'm just gonna do it across the top. I thought about doing it across the bottom. It doesn't matter. It's a preference thing. You can choose where you want it if you're doing it. Let me just straighten this up ever so slightly. It's just slightly, barely wider than the board, and that's okay because I really like for things to fully fill out the board. And so we're gonna grab our dark titanium white, and we're just gonna come in that dark titanium white. We may come back over with some additional white. We still have some on the plate to get the fall vibes on here. I think the deer scene is great for fall vibes. I'm just using a light swirling method here. Friends, a lot of folks will stipple. Some folks use a sweeping motion. You gotta find the style that works for you when you stencil. This is what works for me. So it'll be a little whiter than the dark titanium white because I've gone over the dark titanium white with an actual white. And we'll see what this looks like. I think it's gonna be pretty. It is. Fall vibes. And I think that that's kind of a cool look on the sign. Now you could have left it without those words on there, but I kind of like that. You know, it's a little bit different. It's a little different than anything I typically do. And this one ends up being a double-sided sign. One of the things I will tell you, so if you are a seller, there's a couple of different things you can do. If you're gonna do something that's reversible, a lot of people would like to do something that's got Halloween and Christmas or fall and Christmas on one board. Friends, I will tell you, after years of doing this, after years of being in business and booths and doing craft fairs and whatnot, the people who are going to buy your boards are the people who are going to buy your boards. If you've got somebody who decorates their front porch with a porch leaner, or somebody who decorates with the oars or the paddles, they love to use those type of things. And so they appreciate when they can get a couple of different designs out of that. But it doesn't have to be your top 2 selling designs. So, you know, the standard welcome is one of my top designs. The fall and the Christmas, those are the hot seasons to decorate with. And so, you know, a lot of folks might want to do a Halloween and a Christmas. And what I would say to do is do 2 different falls. Do a Halloween look and a fall look, and then do an evergreen and a Christmas design. Or mix it up in that way so that you can sell 2 signs instead of just 1. So, you know, maybe you do fall and Halloween, and maybe you do evergreen and Christmas, or you do evergreen and fall, and that still puts you Halloween and Christmas. I would probably do fall and Halloween on 1. So you've got that, so you lengthen out that season, so that that short period of time when you're decorating for Halloween, you're covered, and then you still have the fall design for the rest of the time. So there we go. That's what the fall vibes will end up looking like. And this was of course what we did last week. I was going to show you one last thing, and that was just the Hello Pumpkin, what it looks like on a board. And then I will bid you guys adieu. So you can get on with your evenings. I appreciate you spending some time with me tonight. Let's see what we can do. So this is kind of Halloween-like. I put a spell on you, right? It's kind of Halloween. I mean, it's still black on the back. So all I'm gonna do right now is just show you what this looks like if you stencil this down. This will be just a very simple black and white design. You could, of course, add a pumpkin. You could layer it a pumpkin. There's a lot of different things you could do, but for tonight, I just want to show you what this stencil itself looks like. So let's just do this with some white. Okay, so I'm going to come on with some white here. Pull it over where you can see. And again, it's going to be that initial hit of the board. When you reload your brush, that's when you have to be most cautious about getting bleed on your stencil. And so a lot of times when I'm doing that, I'll find the whitest part of my stencil, and that's where I'll start. And I didn't do that last time, but it'll kind of keep that bleed away. Just grab a little more right there. So here's the thing, if we wanted to come into this stencil with additional colors, we could always lay down the white first, and that's going to create kind of a resist. So if we wanted additional vibrant colors, we could come in on top of the white layer with those. And let me show you what that looks like. We've just got Hello Pumpkin, and it's very simple. Oh, so this is what it looks like, kind of just simple with white, kind of a black and white. I'm gonna lay it back down, and I'm gonna show you another technique that you can use. And if you like the black and white better, go with that. Otherwise, you can do something kind of similar to this. And we'll just pull out a little orange, a little red, and a little yellow. And we'll do, I've probably got enough red actually, with some yellow. And we're gonna do it this way instead of this way. Might look better the other way, but you'll see, and you'll get to make that decision for yourself on your own project. And so here, I'm just gonna come over with some yellow ochre. You're getting more color from me tonight than you typically do. So you guys usually see me doing a lot more neutrals and coastals. It's usually my real realm. So we're gonna transition to the orange out of necessity. I'm just gonna make that transition there. Transition into some red. So if you're going to use a white as a resist, you want to make sure it's dry, particularly if you're going to be going over it with red, because you don't want to create pink. But let's see, other than that, kind of how it looks. That's a little bit vibrant for me. It's a lot vibrant. And it kind of takes away your ability to see that. So I don't personally love it. You guys might like it. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sand it down a little bit. You can also see just a touch of a white outline there. And then if it's too dark for you, here's just a little hack that I like to use sometimes that works for me. So I'm just gonna take a paper towel. You can use a sharp towel, you can use a sponge, you can use a wet wipe. I'm just gonna get just a little bit of my Valspar antiquing glaze. Just a little bit. And I'm just gonna pull that off, just a little. And I'm just gonna come over. Now this is a mid-tone brown black glaze, and we're just gonna come over our whole piece with it, which should tone down all of that color in its entirety. It's gonna add just a little dimension to the piece, maybe. Just a little more dimension. Just bring it right over the paint and make sure we go over the whole board so it doesn't look odd in the background. I like that. And I'll see if you can tell the difference. Where this was like a stark line there, now it blends just a little bit better. And so there you go. So that's it. But one way to do the ombre. You might have liked it better black and white, and I get that. So a couple different designs there. And then let me show you again the fall vibes. Fall vibes. And then of course the piece we probably all like the most. Just using the Stencil of the Month Club set, and then the and this has a little bit of texture to it because we've dapped on that paint. Y'all, I think it's so pretty. I hope that you guys have a fantastic week. The rest of the week is going to be fantastic for us, and I will see you guys real soon. Bye now, friends.